pictures of is really a telling sign of what Shiv Sena will be doing ahead. Because right now who's speaking is and addressing the crowds who have gathered here is Shrikant Shinde, Eknath Shinde's son as well. And now we are seeing the supporters as well who have gathered here. Lots of supporters, hundreds of them in fact, that have gathered here. And you can see the kind of excitement because this is Shrikant Shinde addressing them right now and talking about Hindutva, talking about Shiv Sena's ideology, talking about how Uddhav Thackeray had gone away from that ideology as well, condemning this entire MVA alliance of Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress, claiming that there was no place for Shiv Sena to tie hands with the Congress and the NCP. Now, these are the kind of statements that he's saying right now. And look what kind of an impromptu meet this really is. Because even though there are hundreds of people, you can see the kind of candid conversation that is also being carried out between Shrikant Shinde and the supporters of Eknath Shinde as well. Shrikant Shinde is standing on the bonnet of a car and addressing hundreds of these workers, in fact, who have gathered here. All of them, coming here to support Eknath Shinde as well, claiming that Eknath Shinde is somebody who's fought for Hindutva, he's somebody who's fought for the Shiv Sainik, he's somebody who's fought for the Maharashtrian people as well. Now, these are the statements that we are seeing right now of people who have gathered here, the supporters who have gathered here. Look at the posters. Abhishek, if Vijay Mukut is actually showing us the pictures, the posters, the banners, the placards that people are handed with, all of them saying, "We support Eknath Shinde Sahib," and several other posters as well that have they are armed with as well here. All of them saying that they are standing with Eknath Shinde, and Shrikant Shinde reiterating this fact, Abhishek, saying that there was a very unnatural alliance between the Shiv Sena, the Congress and the NCP, and that Uddhav Thackeray has actually betrayed the people of Maharashtra as well, and that Eknath Shinde is somebody who's fought for the people of Maharashtra, fought for the common Marathi Manas. And now these are the kind of statements that we are seeing here. And this really is a telling sign because even though we saw that Uddhav Thackeray had stated and the Sanjay Raut and other clan loyalists in fact had stated that they will not be allowed, Eknath Shinde clan will not be allowed to use the Shiv Sena tag or Balasaheb Thackeray's name. But even now they are saying that it is Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray and Sanjay Raut who have actually betrayed the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray, who have actually betrayed the ideology of Hindutva, who's betrayed Shiv Sena as well. And we are the ones who are fighting for those principles that Balasaheb Thackeray had actually laid out. Now, these are the statements that are coming to light from Shrikant Shinde right now. And you can really see the kind of the attentive nature of the people as well who've gathered here, listening to each and every word that Shrikant Shinde has to say right now. And even though we look at Thane as the bastion for Shiv Sena as well, for Eknath Shinde as well, and now we are looking at this show of strength from Eknath Shinde, because even though Eknath Shinde along with all of the rebel MLAs are in Guwahati, here are people who are chanting the slogans of support for Eknath Shinde, claiming that they are happy about the fact that Eknath Shinde has broken away from this unnatural and unholy alliance, in their words, between Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress. And they're claiming that this is a party that has always fought for the common man, always fought for the common Maharashtrian, always fought for the ideology of Hindutva, and that's exactly the path that we are going back on. Now, these are the kind of statements that Shrikant Shinde is also making, and you can see the supporters listening to him, cheering him on, sloganeering going on for Eknath Shinde all across. Wherever we're panning our cameras, Abhishek, everywhere we pan our cameras, we are looking at huge posters of Eknath Shinde, of Balasaheb Thackeray right next to Eknath Shinde. So this kind of political posturing is also very, very relevant when it comes to the visuals as well that we are picking up. You know, people have climbed on top of banners, people have climbed on top of their the vehicles as well that have, and they're just trying to get a glimpse of Shrikant Shinde, trying to understand what really is happening. And you know, this really is the picture. This really is the picture of a common Shiv Sainik right now who is, climbed on top of this barricading, and he's holding the poster of Eknath Shinde, holding the flag of Shiv Sena and smiling and looking at Shrikant Shinde and cheering on to whatever Shrikant Shinde is saying about the fact that Shiv Sena is breaking away from the MVA, that this is the real Shiv Sena, because Shiv Sena is about the principles of Balasaheb Thackeray. Now, this really is the kind of sentiment that we are picking up here, at least in Thane. That, of course, granted is a bastion for Eknath Shinde. We are expected to see a lot of support for Eknath Shinde, but this really is a telling picture for even Uddhav Thackeray, because we are seeing the normal cadre of Shiv Sena, the normal Shiv Sainiks, in fact, so to speak, who are on the ground, in a resounding voice saying that they are standing still with Eknath Shinde, strongly with Eknath Shinde, and believe everything that he has stated about the fact that this is a party that will work on the ideology of Hindutva, and that they were not able to do so because of the unholy alliance of the MVA as well. And now, of course, interesting to note, they have not really mentioned anything about the BJP yet. However, this is something that is of subtext here, at least, because we had seen the pressure tactics that had been created by the BJP as well, the meetings that had been gone on at Devendra Fadnavis's house, Ramdas Athavale as well, who had a meeting with Devendra Fadnavis, and then, of course, the latter as well had stated that Eknath Shinde is the one in Shiv Sena who has the numbers now, and that's being said by Shrikant Shinde as well, and being addressed to the Shiv Sainiks in Thane, who have just especially come to listen to Shrikant Shinde as well. And the pictures really telling us all that we need to know about where really the support of the common Shiv Sainik really lies. All of them saying that they are standing with Eknath Shinde. So these statements that had been coming to light from Uddhav Thackeray and from the Loyalist MLAs, the Loyalist leaders of Uddhav Thackeray as well, claiming that the MLAs who have gone to Guwahati are the ones who had betrayed Balasaheb Thackeray, falling on not really registering with the people here, because they're claiming that that has no basis, that statement has no basis, because they believe that the people who have gone to Guwahati are the ones fighting for Hindutva, fighting for their ideology, fighting for Balasaheb Thackeray, and that is why we see hundreds of people, hundreds of followers who have gathered here and just to cheer on Shrikant Shinde. Let's listen in, because the kind of sloganeering that's going on. And Abhishek, let me tell you, the weather is quite humid right now. It was also raining right now, but even that did not stop all of the Shiv Sainiks, the supporters who are gathered here, to come here and stay here and listen to what Shrikant Shinde is actually saying. We are panning our camera as Vijay Bukut is actually showing you faces of the Shiv Sainiks, the normal cadre who's gathered here in absolute attention for Shrikant Shinde, hanging on to every word that he's saying. He's talking about Eknath Shinde, he's talking about the fight for Hindutva, he's talking about the drawbacks and the kind of hindrances that Eknath Shinde faced when Uddhav Thackeray had just become the Chief Minister, even during the COVID times. Now, these are some of the statements that we have been able to pick up from Shrikant Shinde and some of the supporters who have gathered here as well. But the fact remains that in Thane, or at least on the ground everywhere in Mumbai, Maharashtra, where we're seeing people are in support of Eknath Shinde, at least the workers here in Thane, saying that we are, without a doubt, standing with Eknath Shinde, and for us, that really is the real Shiv Sena.
Well, right, Priyanka, thank you so much. That's a very important development taking place in front of the cameras outside the residence of Eknath Shinde in Mumbai, where his son Shrikant Shinde is addressing the massive crowd. Why this is important, I say, is because if you look at the numbers of supporters present there in support of Eknath Shinde, the rebel leader, you would be surprised, viewers, that this is much more than the number of Shiv Sainiks we have seen outside Matoshri over the last 5 days. We have seen outside the Shiv Sena headquarters in Dadar for the last 5 days. This is more than the number of Shiv Sainiks who came to Varsha the day Uddhav Thackeray left the Chief Minister's official residence for the Thackeray residence at Matoshri in Bandra. So I think this sort of gives you an idea of where the wind is blowing insofar as Maharashtra politics is concerned, at least the internal dynamics of Shiv Sena, the manner in which they are playing out, though there was a national executive which has empowered Uddhav Thackeray to take some tough decisions, including, if need be, to expel these legislators who have rebelled, and also asking the rebels to desist from using the name of Balasaheb Thackeray. Let's listen to some reactions and sound bites that have come through the day on this story and then come back to these same pictures.